Yo.
Did we have the fucking thing on the whole time? Hello, 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 hello.
What thing?
The effects.
I have no idea. That would suck.
No, we didn't. No. There.
Hello.
What do we want? You want an echo.
Well, no, we just want the reverb.
Welcome. Hold on.
Welcome.
Whoa.
Welcome.
Hold on. There.
Welcome. Back. To the Wanderers.
No, that one's dumb.
Is dumb.
Whoa. No, that one sucks. We're retarded.
Did. I feel like I'm on mushrooms.
Welcome back. Oh my
We're going
God.
to summon the 4 demons of the apocalypse. Boggle.
All right.
Welcome back to the Wanderers podcast.
That was a fucking awesome, interesting intro.
Yeah.
We're keeping that. Yes, that whole thing is...
It's train wreck.
That's a fucking great way to come back from the hiatus.
Our stupid hiatus.
Yeah. So, yeah. First thing we get into is why we were... Well, first thing we had was the interview with Jay.
Yeah.
Jay Onrait from TSN and one half of the Jay and Dan podcast. Talked about sports and the weather in September because it was recorded in September. We've just been sitting on it because we've moved. It was difficult to kind of coordinate editing and recording, so we just kind of took a break, kind of retooled.
And like we said later in the podcast, we are set up, and this is the way it's staying set up so that we don't have to fumble around every time we go to do a podcast. It's just in and out.
Yeah.
Plus, we're doing all the editing here, so we'll get the episodes out sooner.
Yes. I'm really looking forward to that because, like, me having to sit here and copy it onto my computer, edit it, not have the root files, and it was just bad.
Poopy.
So we got that all figured out. We moved into a new studio.
Yeah. Stay tuned to the very end of the episode because we have a very special announcement.
We also talk about, we have a few announcements.
Well, yeah. This is, there's quite a lot that's happened in the last 2 months, but.
Yeah, so we finished off with, like, kind of we haven't been doing nothing. Like, we're working on a big guest, and we're working on kind of a new format. I'll say that. I won't tell you what it is. Just listen to the episode. After being off for so long, it was surprisingly good. Like, we flowed well, and there's no dead space, so.
Exactly.
I think everyone will like it. It was a good one.
Yeah, we hope you enjoy, and that's basically all we got into.
Oh, yeah, we kind of, like, trailed off at the end, but started talking about some... I can't even...
Just weird Joe Rogan stuff.
Yeah.
And just like we usually do, we just wander off into random topics. But that's the beauty. Yeah. Anyway, we're not going to drag this on too long, so hope you enjoy the interview with
Jay Onrait. Onrait.
All right.
All right.
All right, back into
the
show.
Yeah.
I like that.
Jay Onrait, everybody. Take it away, Hank.
I'm tripping.
You want to throw down with a hoedown?
I'll get my guitar.
I'll get my washboard.
I'll go get my string bass, which is really a keyboard.
Hey, man, I'm gonna go get my banjo. Maybe I'm gonna go get a little accordion, man. What do you think? No, banjo, man.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3. Hey, yo, man, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna take a verse right now.
Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna prove untrue. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna left me blue.
Bobby, put that down. That's the jug I keep stuff in. Saw that thing, Connie.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to get into it.
No, it's my fault, Connie. I told you to saw.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
What's up, guys?
Nothing. Just got all set up. We're ready to roll. Yeah, level's good there?
Yeah, everything's good, I think. Hello?
Uh-huh.
How's it going, man?
Good, man.
Good.
What are you up to?
Just driving to work.
Oh, yeah, you do, it's so weird that you're always on in the mornings, but you record at night, eh?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, it's what we've always done.
Well, it makes sense because then people can work at it and produce it by the morning. So
Yeah. Is that the same way that that you did in America too?
Yes, it is.
pretty standard.
Is this the podcast?
Yeah, we're recording right now.
We've started?
We have started, yes.
Yeah, we don't really script shit out. We just kind of shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really great. All right. Well, good to talk to you fellas.
Yeah. Sorry, we kind of, it's been a little janky here. Like, we had to, like, our whole background here is just shit everywhere. So.
Yeah, we're in the midst of moving everything.
Yeah,
so we're set up in an apartment, and then we're actually in Colin's apartment. He's moving, so we're actually going to set up an actual studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just started this not 4 or 5 months ago.
That was about 7 months ago.
Fuck. Doesn't feel that long.
No.
Anyway, yeah.
Nice. This is the weirdest podcast I've ever done already.
Oh, yeah?
Is it?
Yeah.
Why? It's... Yeah, I guess it's
I don't know. So, what do you guys want to talk about?
Anything. How are you liking being back in Canada?
Oh, it's great. I love it. It's the reception has been kind of amazing. It's shows a blast, and the weather's decent, which is a bonus. I know it wasn't a great summer in Toronto, but it's been a beautiful September. So, all in all, it's been fantastic. In January, I might change my tune and not be as happy about things, but honestly, it's been fantastic. Having a great time.
So how long have you been back?
We got back just before the show started in September, just late August.
So you really didn't experience our summer, hey? You had the nice LA weather?
Yeah, I was out in BC for most of August, and it was nice out there. And yeah, LA was great this summer. So yeah, I didn't really get the kind of rainy summer of Toronto. I didn't experience it. So I'm just enjoying this nice weather now. It's been great. I mean, it's great if you have air conditioning, right? If you don't have air conditioning, it's a total nightmare.
Oh, I know. I work outside. It's insane.
Yeah, I live above a pizza shop right now, and before we had AC at the beginning of the summer, it was like we were literally cooking in here. Brutal.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. That's not fun at all. I mean, people without AC, people who have AC should take those people in, and they should welcome them to their homes, because it's a cruel and inhumane way to live without AC.
It's weird. Not a lot of people don't have it. It's in my experience, anyways. It's kind of one of those things that is really...
Well, downtown where I live, a lot of, like a couple of guys who work with us, they live in old houses downtown, and they rent, a couple rooms in those houses, and those houses don't always have AC. They're such a great place to live in, like, October, but right now it's not so good. that's AC talk. Good chat.
Yeah, it's a very lucrative subject.
Oh, I guess. Now, have you got your podcast back up yet?
Yes, it's been up for 3 weeks. Are you guys like living in a hole, or are you stoned? What is going on here? I'm worried about you guys.
You know, I really haven't. I usually listen to my podcast when I'm driving to work, and I really for the summer I wasn't working as often as I was before, so I'm really behind on what I was listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Would you listen to your own podcast, and are you self-critical? Like, do you think, I wish I'd have done that differently?
Well, no, I don't listen. I listen to it when I edit it. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, typically, well, in this podcast, it's a really free-range, long-form conversation. Like, it can go anywhere, pretty much. Like, we don't really like to script it out because then it just feels super agenda, like. But yeah, no, it was a pretty weak start, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Sorry for that experience there.
No, it wasn't. I mean, if that's the podcast, I love it. Like, so far, I like the vibe. I like everything. My only criticism will be that if you're going to have a guest, you should probably let them know when the podcast starts.
Oh, yeah no.
Yeah,
sorry about that. No, we're probably going to edit that part out and just, like, start it, like...
No, leave it in.
Leave it in?
I was going to say, I don't think you should edit it out. Just leave it in. It's funny.
Yeah. No, we've had so many podcasts where it's just a huge train wreck, like, right at the beginning. And then, like, mics get knocked over and stuff. We just leave it all in.
Yeah, leave everything in.
Yeah.
It sounds good. Like, everything, audio sounds good. Everything's on point. I think so far it's going well.
Yeah. We're kind of at a point now where we haven't really done as many in the last month or so.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we kind of, over the summer, kind of dialed it back a bit. And we really haven't, we've only done 3 episodes over the last, 2 months, so.
Yeah, we both just been kind of going through this transition. Like, I'm moving to a bigger place and going to be doing, like, a new job, and everything's just been haywire lately. So, kind of getting back into the groove, like, even just sitting down, like, even thinking about it, it's just, like, I haven't even really fucking had too many conversations lately. It's just, like, everything's been so go, go, go. But, yeah. No,
that's a good story.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're killing us, man.
No, you guys are funny, man. I like it. How did you guys start this? Like, are you buddies from school, or what's the deal?
Yeah, we went to high school together, and it literally started from me throwing my cell phone on the ground and then just being like, we're starting a fucking podcast right now.
Just recording from the phone.
We literally were talking about it for months, and we weren't doing anything about it. And then that was pretty much the tipping point to where we were actually like, okay, let's pursue this. So it's like, from the beginning, it's been super, like, the audio was crap, and everything was crap. And then it's just been slowly building up. Even the guests that we've been getting, like, not saying like our guests have been like crap, obviously, like, they've been good, but just even like the audio. Because, like, we used to do it off Wi-Fi, and then they would cut out halfway through the conversation, and we'd be like,
Yeah, it was brutal.
But now we got a mixer and
shit. It was definitely
so.
Amateur.
Oh, yeah. Well, it still is, but that's kind of the beauty of it.
I guess. But one,
I like it.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
Thanks, buddy.
One big influence was actually your show. Like, yours and Dan's podcast was a big influence on me wanting to actually get it started, so...
Yeah, Jason's actually the guy, the one who introduced me to your guys' podcast and showed me some of the highlight reels of the Sports Center bits that you guys used to do. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, and not much has changed, to be honest. It's kind of the same vibe now. It's excuse me. It's like
I sound kind of bored of it.
The podcast has definitely stripped down to the sort of old days. We were doing more of a produced podcast down in LA, and now we've stripped it back down. It's just me and Dan and Christoph, and it feels great. It's just like we're kind of like this podcast. We're just sort of shooting the shit for an hour, and maybe having a guest or two on, and it's fun. I love it.
Yeah,
it's a different element to our personality, which you can't always show on a nationally broadcasted television program.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. We're gonna try to branch out into other things. We've been in the talks of just trying to write like little short clips or videos or even short film or something. Just we've really wanted to like just branch out and try to be more creative, and you know, like there's so many places that you can distribute content and stuff, and it's just like, why not? It's fun, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. I mean, that's the great thing about the web, is that it's given people who, 20 years ago wouldn't have had the opportunity to do something like this a chance to just try it. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't, but who cares? Just go for it. You're only limited by your own laziness, really. You just kind of go for it and have fun. I would say that you guys, your first priority though should be getting AC. That should be your first priority.
Oh yeah. No, we're totally locked down on that. Like I got AC in this bitch now, and we're nice and cool.
Well, we won't need it much anymore.
Yeah.
It's supposed to cool down, so.
Yeah. Now we can get in the conversation of heaters. Like if you want to get in on that, that's a pretty good subject too.
Yeah, well, that's we can talk again in January, and we'll be talking heaters.
Yeah, yeah, we'll save that for a later date.
So it must be exciting to actually be able to talk about hockey again, eh?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's probably the best part of the job now, because in LA, the Kings have a good following, the Ducks have a good following, but in terms of like local sports radio and stuff, nobody's talking about the Kings ever. When we first moved down there, the Kings won the Stanley Cup, and they didn't talk about them on local sports radio. So it's all Lakers and Dodgers, USC football, UCLA football, and way, way down is the Clippers. So, and then the Kings way, way after the Clippers. So, yeah, it's tough because there's so much to do in LA, and it's just not a town that people grow up playing a lot of hockey. And it's not just LA, it's all over America. There's a reason the sport isn't as popular down there. It's because people don't play it as much. And so to come back and just, like last week we had preseason NHL ahead of baseball wild card races. And I was just like, I took a picture of our lineup and I sent it to our buddies in the States. Like, we're back, man. We're back in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like the Kings attendance suffers though. Like people go to their games. That's one thing I've noticed with like all those Sunshine State teams like Florida and Carolina. They have like all those areas that kind of have like struggling attendance, right? But if you look at LA, it's always full in there.
Exactly. No, you're bang on. Like LA's attendance, they fill the building, but so they have a good core following. And the fans are great. Like, if you go to a game at Staples Center, it's great. And the fans really know the sport. But outside of those 18,000 fans, nobody's talking about it. So, and I don't think that'll ever really change. There's too much, aside from sports, there's too many other things to do in that city for the Kings to become, the Kings have been successful. They've won a couple of cups, and it didn't make them the Kings of the city. Bottom line is it's a Laker town, it's a Dodger town, and everybody else is a distant third.
Yeah, and the whole country of America is football, right? Football first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, football, basketball, college football, college basketball, baseball, all those sports miles ahead of hockey in the minds of Americans, and it's not even close.
So how did that go when you first went down to LA? Did you I noticed you guys tried to do the hockey highlights, but it just didn't catch on, right?
No, it was more, I think they just wanted to make us happy. It's like, you hire someone to a new job and they're like, what do you guys want to do? And so we were finding we were doing a ton of hockey at first, and it was, we were surprised really because we didn't expect to do that. And I think probably that was a mistake, but, overall, it was fun to cover other stuff too. It was nice to switch it up, but I definitely missed hockey. It's just so funny because you live in Toronto, and I drive around all the time listening to sports radio, and it's just Leafs. I mean, all summer it's Jays, but it's just they're obsessed with the Leafs. Like nobody's talking about the Raptors even on sports radio. It's just all Leafs right now. So just to have that switch of demographic where everyone in sports radio is talking about is puck, after not hearing it for 4 years, that alone is pretty jarring and pretty hilarious. And then it's so regional. You go, the depth with which the sports radio stations here talk about the Leafs. I mean, out in, say, Vancouver, it's all about the Canucks, and they're just obsessed with that team, which is obviously not good right now. And in Edmonton, they're obsessed with the Oilers. Everyone loves their own regional team. I'm praying that Quebec gets a team. I know the Leafs and Habs are playing there tonight. I'm hoping they get a team back. Hopefully Phoenix will move there or something like that. Because it'd be nice to have eight of them up here. But, yeah, it's just awesome covering puck for sure.
But isn't there's some rumblings saying that Calgary might move to the States?
Really?
Yeah, that's like a negotiation ploy by the owners of the Flames. That's never happening. They'll get a deal done eventually. It's the same thing that goes on in every city that needs a new arena. The city says they're only going to spend so much on it. The owners say they're getting a bad deal, or that the deal they want isn't being agreed upon. The owners make some veiled threat about moving, or that they could make more money elsewhere. And eventually it always works out in the end. So this will be no different. The Flames are not leaving Calgary. Everything's going to be fine.
Well, I hope so. I don't even know why. Like, where would they go?
Well, there's places to go. Like to me, it was no coincidence that the Flames made that first announcement that they had stopped negotiating with the city on the same day that the city of Seattle announced they were renovating Key Arena. I mean, I think the NHL has wanted to be in Seattle for a long, long time, and I think they eventually will get there, and I think it'll be a team like Phoenix that moves there. But, yeah, it's not going to be Calgary.
Yeah. I hope that we get more teams. Like, I'm wondering what's going to happen with the expansion, because they kind of need to even it out, right? We need one more team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you never want to have a 31-team league. It's not good for anybody. So if you could add another one, and if you could add, Seattle would be perfect. It's a market that, has had a major junior team for a long time. It's a big city. It would be a natural rivalry with San Jose and Vancouver. There's lots of positives about a team being there. It's really surprising one hasn't been there now. The only reason a team hasn't been there is because their arena was absolutely garbage. It was so bad that they lost the Supersonics. So they do renovate it. I think the priority for that city will be getting the Supersonics back, because they're definitely a basketball city more than a hockey city. And then I'm just coming into TSN right now. Said hi to the security guy. He let me in. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it'd be awesome for Seattle to get a team. That would be really cool.
Oh yeah, we had a guest on a couple, like maybe a few months ago. It was Dart Guy. Did you catch any of that when you were down in the States? Like,
just on Twitter, but it was not reported in the States.
No, I know, but I figured maybe you looked into it.
Well, I mean, I follow lots of my buddies from Toronto and lots of hockey guys, and obviously just in general hockey people from TSN. We were fully aware of the situation, but yeah, I loved it. It was a hilarious thing. I loved it, and I loved that he rode his wave of fame. Why not, man?
He's still riding it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be riding it for a while.
Oh yeah. Why not?
I guess so.
That'd be funny if he started like a Dark Guy show and just people followed it and watched it.
Well, they had the Vancouver had those guys in the green suit, and it was kind of a gimmick for a long time.
The Green Men.
Yeah, I'm sure they still do it.
I think they do. Yeah, tough times now there though.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, this has been great. I kind of got to run, but this has been awesome.
Yeah. Well, have a good night at work, man.
Yeah, have fun.
Okay, thanks, guys. Loved it. Have a terrific night. Best of luck with this, and good luck with the AC.
All right.
Thanks, bro. We'll stay cool.
See ya.
Later. Yeah.
All right.
Why would anyone do drugs when they could just mow a lawn?
Okay.
All right.
So they just listened to the interview with Jay finally.
Yeah. I'm glad that's finally out there.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got it was a little messy there at the end trying to do the show, move everything. So we were on about a 2-month hiatus.
Yeah.
Between episodes.
We don't plan on doing that again.
No, we had to move, right? We had to move everything and it was just a mess. I was changing jobs once again.
And this setup is going to be staying the way it is.
Permanent.
So
it's going to be less of a pain in the dick to set up.
Exactly.
That was like one big, like we would, it would come time to do a show and I'd be like, oh, we got to fucking set everything up.
And then by the time we finished setting it up, we were just like pissed. And we were just like, let's just fucking do this.
And we would never have time to like prepare. We would always be running super tight. Moving forward, we had to take that time to just figure some stuff out, kind of retool. I know that we've kind of found our identity with kind of being loose, but I think we kind of have to tighten things up a bit.
I agree.
Definitely, we have some big news at the end of the episode, and we definitely have to tighten up if we're going to be doing stuff like that. So,
Exactly. Well, it all comes like it's, you know, the more we try to rush it, the more it's gonna not feel like natural. You know, like
right.
It's just I want to transition into it. Like right now, the way it's set up, and I know this is how it's gonna be. It's nice. It's calming. Like we can just walk in, do it, like and set up and actually
and finish the episode
right here.
Yeah. Rather than
you were going home and then editing all the episodes at home.
Yeah.
After uploading it, and then
and having to tear down, and it's just gonna be so nice not being able to having to do that.
Making me think a lot about some of the principles I've been learning lately. It's just basically saying like structure is freedom, like discipline and structure. Like having a set routine and structure allows you to be creative and like you know. That's what I'm focused on is starting to build more disciplines and routines in my life. Like I went back to the gym for the first time in like a month.
That seems to be something that comes up a lot. You're like on every episode. You're just like, I'm finally back at the gym.
Well, it's like I can't. There's so much going on. It's hard to like balance everything.
Yeah.
Like, but
on that front,
I'm just doing it. Like I have to.
Another part of this hiatus was my health. I was very unhealthy, to the point where I needed to stop everything and focus all of my energy on that, on getting myself. I had full checkup and there was a lot going on, and I was on a course that was not good. That would have shortened my life. Whereas now, 2 months later, I'm as healthy as I've ever been. I was diagnosed with diabetes. I had high blood pressure, and I have dedicated the last 2 months to changing my diet, changing my exercise completely. And I'm proud to say that I have all my blood sugar levels down to normal. Not even like diabetes. It's like it's like normal, and my blood pressure is down to normal. So
it wasn't full blown like diabetes.
It is,
but you don't have to take insulin and stuff. You don't have to regulate that.
So there's 3 types of diabetes. I can't remember exactly what the third type is, but the first type is what you're born with, is your body doesn't make insulin, so you have to take the shots.
Yeah.
Second is when either your blood cells kind of develop an immunity to the insulin, or your liver kind of doesn't make as much as it should, and that's the type I have. So I can control mine completely with diet and metformin, whereas people who have type 1, they have to have the shots, right?
Yeah.
And that's super dangerous. That's the really dangerous diabetes. Like, so mine isn't like, it's serious, but it's not as serious as that.
Right. Like it could be a lot worse.
It could be. And if I didn't get it checked, I could have, like, one big problem with diabetes is people losing body parts because their tissues don't accept the blood cells as easily. So it's harder to get oxygen to like the far parts. So your toes are usually the first thing to go, and your feet. And so I'm not at that point. I did like the sensation test and passed 100%. So, and like my sugar levels weren't like insane, like they were elevated, but they weren't. They're manageable. So
That's good.
yeah,
It's good news. Yeah, I've noticed I've been super like foggy lately, especially not going to the gym, and like I just haven't cared what I've eaten and stuff, and like.
Well, it's weird. Like I don't know how long I lived with the diabetes. I was so used to living with the symptoms that it was super weird to not have them.
Yeah.
Like I used to sweat all the fucking time, no matter what. And I'd be like, oh, that's just normal, I'm fat, whatever. And I used to have to piss all the time. And I was like, whatever, I just pee a lot. Not even thinking that those are symptoms. Now, I don't sweat nearly as much, and I definitely don't urinate as much. It's crazy. And I'm not I used to drink like 90 liters of water over like 3 or 4 weeks. That's insane how much I used to drink. Just because, I don't know, that's like a symptom. So,
But
and then
good,
now I've had that 90 liters. I have 5 big jugs, and I just finished them like yesterday was the last one, and that was like 2.5 months.
It's good to still drink a lot of water. Like, it's good that it's almost a good symptom because your body needs to flush out.
But that's it is good to drink water, but that you're drinking it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Your body's trying to flush out sugar, so it's getting you to drink more water so you can piss out the sugar.
Something I heard recently was he called it super hydration, or like, forget exactly what he called it, but you drink a lot of water and like as soon as you get up, probably like 12 to 16 ounces or something like that, and then it like gets everything going. I've done it a couple days, but
I drink water when I get up. I usually have a glass of water beside my bed, and I won't finish it at night, and then I'll polish it off in the morning.
yeah, it's good.
But
I've had such a bad habit of just getting up, not even drinking any water. It's like coffee. Just
yeah,
get you going.
I'm back on the coffee too. I stopped because my blood pressure was high, but like I really shouldn't get back onto it. But like,
it's if you drink it black, it actually has health benefits to it.
yeah, I don't drink like I don't have sugar, or I generally don't put milk in it. But
the biggest thing though is alcohol. Like if you stay away from alcohol, like you'll be fine for sure.
for blood pressure.
Blood pressure.
No, it was my
weight.
It was my diet.
Everything.
I think it was the biggest part was my diet. Sugar, man.
Sugar will fuck you up.
Yeah, it's gone. It's out of my life.
Have you watched that Sugar film?
No, I don't think I need to.
Well,
I don't want to be like scared of food. Like sugar's not.
It's not.
You need it to survive. Like it's not. It's this over fucking eating of it. Like it's over consumption that's the problem.
Well, when you realize we haven't evolved that far past like when we used to salvage things in the wild, and like our bodies, like our insides, like it still processes in the same way as it used to with our ancestors, and we can't
But we're
process
not we're not that far off from when we were hunter gatherers and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying.
That was, I mean, you look at Canadians.
All I'm trying to say is like we never came into that much sugar, and just overeating it. Like our body can't process it.
No, I know.
It's crazy. Like
that's why
that sugar film is just entertaining. Like it's not like something that's like holy fuck that was scary to watch. It was like it's entertaining and it explains things and puts things into perspective. Just like the way you look at sugar and the way it reacts in your brain, it's almost like cocaine. Just like the same kind of symptoms where for like 10 minutes you're super jacked and you feel happy because you got it. And it's like that dopamine release.
Yeah.
And just even the way he explains it in the movie is pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So what are we going to move it on to? Well, one more thing. If you listen to this show sequentially, you would have already listened to the Barb episode with Shelley Thompson. But we have to mention that we, in the hiatus, kind of sat on the episode, didn't release it, partly my fault.
Well, we're going to mention that in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to edit that in.
Into the net, yeah. I know, I just want to mention it. We're recording
We're speaking
now.
to you from the future.
Yeah, this is the first recording session in the new studio. So, I just wanted to mention that.
Well, speaking of which, yeah, we're moved up. We're set up in this space. Well, I guess we'll wait till the end to mention our proposition.
Yeah, we'll just keep going. So, what are we on?
Well, we explained our hiatus and that we're moved and set up. And we have a possible opportunity coming up.
I mean, it's pretty in place. A friend of mine kind of had the opportunity to start up a radio show in Hamilton. Came to me with it. And me and Colin are going to jump in on it. It's going to be a lot, 9 to 12 on Saturday nights. It's going to be a death metal show. We're going to be called The Bludgeoning. It's on 101.5 The Hawk. It's part of Mohawk College. And we're basically just waiting. There's a strike on right now for the college teachers. So that's really affected the station as well. We're just waiting on that to finish, to get started. And if you listen till the end of this episode, there's a pretty big announcement that's tied into that, kind of. So we got some pretty good news, good start for the show. We're just waiting on it now.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually ended up going to see Suffocation a couple weeks ago, and me and Jonas ran into the band before the show started, and we actually got them to do a station ID. We shot the shit for a little bit, and yeah, they're really good guys. I kind of dropped the ball. I should have asked them to do some stuff for the podcast, but
well, you could always email them and say, "Hey, I ran into you."
Yeah, for sure.
Social medias, man. Everybody's on that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's weird though. Suffocation's weird because it's such an old band, and the vocalist doesn't tour with them, like the original vocalist. It's only the original guitarist and the original vocalist that are left in the band. And then everything else, they've had the same bassist since 2004, but everyone else is basically new. So it's almost like a cover band, kind of.
It's weird.
It is weird because it's not the same vocalist, but they were really fucking good. Like, really good. Like, they blew Black Dahlia Murder out of the water. It was one of the best shows. I wouldn't say top 5, but yeah, it's up there. It's good. They were really good.
They had a lot of Snapchatting me, be jealous.
Yeah,
I'm not jealous. I'm happy for you. Like, be jealous.
They're so good, man.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them. Like, I've listened to some of their stuff. They're pretty intense.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's gonna be. I think what we're gonna do with the radio show, we're gonna try going back to doing podcasts as much as we can, but once the radio show starts, we might kind of intertwine them and kind of take the audio from the radio show without the music, obviously, and kind of turn that into the podcast. Maybe do once every one. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Kind of
We'll
half
play
and
around
half
with
it. Because it's going to be a lot of traveling for us to go to Hamilton every Saturday. I mean, we could come here, meet here, do a little bit, then go do the show.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like a big thing, like a whole ordeal.
Right. Yeah, they'll, build the plane or fly the plane and fix it at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we can announce to our proposition, because we have this set up right now. We're offering studio recording time for anybody who wants to make podcasts. We can record you and edit you for a hourly fee. So if you want to learn more about that, just email us at thewandererspodcast@gmail.com. And then you can also hit us up on Twitter or anywhere else.
You know what?
And
I have to
slide
mention
into the DMs.
I have to mention how nice it is to sit in a fucking real chair.
Yeah.
And do this.
I know.
Because those fucking dinner chairs.
You'll enjoy these chairs if you come get.
Yeah.
This. I know.
Nice,
the dinner
comfy chairs.
The dinner chairs that we had to sit on that had like fake leather.
And my
that your
fucking
would just stick.
My swampy ass would fucking stick to the seat. And like, it was just bad.
Yeah, it's definitely an upgrade. And as I was saying to you, I was trying to buy a computer chair on buy and sell from a lady for like, she had it listed at $95. I offered her $40, which is obviously a low ball, but that's the way you bargain.
Yeah, you gotta
really undercut it so that you can meet somewhere in the middle. Anyway, she said no, 85 is the least we can do, or the most we can take off. Anyway, she was not happy about the offer I made. I was like, oh, the most I could do is $60. She's like, well, yeah, good luck with your search. And then literally the same day, right before I got home from work, I was like, check out the thrift store. Then 2 identical comfy ass computer chairs are just sitting there for $20 each. And I'm like, that's the price that I offered her in the first place.
Yeah. And you got 2.
I was just like, oh, thanks for the luck.
Yeah. It's nice.
She still hasn't sold the chair, by the way.
Yeah. She'll probably come down and be like, man, I could have had this like 2 weeks ago.
Yep. She'll just sell it for $60 for some other person.
Yeah. I find, like, I'm trying to sell my TV right now, but I'm not, like...
I saw a couple of people hop right on that.
Yeah, I know, but
Did they
the thing is,
no,
I'm just not fully convinced I want to sell it. So I have, like, 5 people offering me, and they're like, what's the best offer? And I'm like, well, $150 right now is the best. And then they're like, when are you going to sell? I'm like, maybe never. I don't know. Like,
well, don't say that. Just
no, I don't say it, but
yeah,
I really don't want to sell it, but I have the opportunity to go see Mayhem in New York City. So it's like TV
or an experience that I'll remember for the
New
rest
York
of my
City.
life. Yeah, go to New York.
I have 3 TVs too, but that one's at my...
Just fucking do it.
That's at my bed, man. I need my TV at my bed.
Well, fucking take one of the other 2s that aren't at your bed.
They serve purposes.
Man.
One's my living room TV and one's my computer TV.
It's fucking a TV. You can find another one probably for half the price.
That's the same week as the announcement at the thing for the announcement. It's literally the same week.
Wow.
So,
speaking of the announcement, I think we can drop it. We're at the end. We've made our propositions. We've explained our hiatus. We have gone over the studio time.
Yeah, I guess.
The setup. And Jason scored an interview with...
Our first face-to-face interview.
Well, is it our first one?
Yeah.
Matt was technically our first one.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt was, but like Matt, our first celebrity face-to-face. Yeah. Probably...
Is it just him? Or like the whole band?
The way I see it, it's just him. That's what I was told anyways. I shot out a message to Children of Bodom's Twitter account, and they got back to me. And it seems as they were really adamant on doing it, and they're coming to Toronto.
Well, I think Alexi was a little more adamant on doing it.
Yeah, because he really drove it, right?
Yeah.
It was at a point where we weren't really going for a lot of guests, and he really drove it. And see, with a big band like that, we had to go through their record label to get clearance.
Yeah.
So that it took about like a month and a half. Pretty much the whole time we were on hiatus, I was shooting emails back and forth with Nuclear Blast Records. And we got 2 tickets, Media Pass tickets to the show in Toronto on November 27th, which is in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we get to go backstage and
Go
have
backstage.
a video interview with Alexi Leho.
Yeah, apparently, like according to our contact at Nuclear Blast, it's just Alexi. I don't know if it's gonna work out. Maybe we can get the other guys too. We'll be back there. There's other bands too.
So the 27th it's
a Tuesday.
That's gonna be a weird one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take it off work.
I'm definitely not going in on Wednesday.
Yeah, my problem is I fucking work in Rockwood right now. So
How far is that?
from Palmerston, it's like an hour. The shitty thing is it's like it's pretty much on the way to Toronto. So I'd have to drive to work, drive home, get ready, and then just drive back to Toronto. I did it for the Suffocation show.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking brutal. And it's a brutal drive. So I'll probably just take that whole day off. And then go in late Wednesday. Because
Yeah, I could probably go in late on Wednesday. Just tell them, like, I'm
I could
interviewing
possibly
Alexi Leho.
potentially have to have that Friday off too if I go to New York. So,
All right.
anyways, I'm super amped. Alexi Leho is one of my favorite artists. One of the first metal bands probably the first full-on metal band that I listened to was Children of Bodom. Easily one of my favorite bands.
Well, you introduced me to them, and that was around the time when I was really into. I still am into
Melodeath.
No, I'm saying like guitarists that really shred. And
Oh
like,
yeah.
You know, like Yngwie Malmsteen,
He's the best,
Steve
man.
Vai, like all of them. Like he's right up there, and
Those noodlers are good, but like
right.
when you're putting it in a song and you're riffing around it, it's
No,
fucking. I don't think there's anyone better
his
than
stylings
Alexi.
are so fucking.
It's symphonic, man.
so
It's
good.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And their last 2 albums have been so good. Like they went into. I don't know. I didn't. I'm
I
not
definitely
a huge
feel
fan
they're more
of,
in the roots. Like
Are You Dead Yet was okay, and then Blood Drunk and Relentless were just kind of bad. Not bad, but like just painfully mediocre. And then Halo of Blood, I was kind of like, I put it in first time, and I was like, here we go again. And I was expecting disappointment, and I was just blown away by how good it is. It's probably I want to say it's up there as one of my favorite albums of all time. I think Follow the Reaper is a little better for Bodom,
yeah.
but Halo of Blood's awesome. And I'm just like the newest one, I Worship Chaos. I don't think you've listened to it at all, have you? It's not
It's
even new.
new?
It's like 2015. Because Halo of Blood is like 2013, I think.
Yeah, I haven't really. You showed me them way back, and then those 2 albums that you were talking about, they didn't really pull me in, so I just kind of went on a hiatus with them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Blood
even
Drunk.
looking back at those albums now, they're not terrible. It's just
They're just
you can
not.
tell they're so drunk. When
Yeah,
they're doing all, like, a Britney
passion,
Spears fucking
yeah.
cover, and it's just like
The passion wasn't there, and well, maybe it was. I don't know. They kind of fell short.
Well, they're having like they're fun songs. Like,
They're all I can say is that they fell short for me. So I don't know. I don't want to insult their music, but that Hail of Blood was an incredible album. I'm super happy that it.
Yeah, I like it too.
And like it seems like they're on a good path. Apparently, this tour they're only playing old songs too. So, like, there's nothing off of Blood Drunk or anything. Apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's gonna be such a good tour.
I know. I'm really pumped for
fucking
it, man. Like,
pumped, yeah.
Oh no, my eyes are turning bloodshot. I'm going on a trip. I look like I'm doped out of my gourd.
what was the last thing we said?
We were just talking about Alexi and
Yeah.
that
So,
album.
yeah.
So we're just gonna go. So,
Like I was saying, we have to. It's our first face-to-face interview.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go into it differently, I think. I would have liked to have Jonas with us because he's really good with talking to people. I like going in. I know I should have said more to, like, I should have asked Suffocation when I was talking to them, but like he was really facilitating the conversation and it was really flowing well. So I think he's gonna do well with us. He might even join in on this too. So
why not? More the merrier.
yeah, an additional wanderer, or we were kind of talking of maybe kind of splitting off, and then we'll do the wanderers and we'll still do like because we've really found our like
Our vision.
our vision is like entertainment, right? So it's a lot of our guests, all of our guests have been entertainment, like TV, movies,
music,
sports. It's all been entertainment based. So I think we're gonna keep with that, and maybe start a kind of like a side podcast just based on
I want to
metal.
start my own like little side thing too, kind of like I don't want to say self-development, but just kind of talking about certain things with people like that, because I know you don't really like talking about that kind of stuff.
Like what? Self-help stuff?
Not exactly self-help stuff, but just like even like when me and Brian Byrne were talking about like just vibing.
Oh yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
you're
like hippie stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just not me, man.
No, I know.
I get it, like the Zen stuff, but I think I take it at a different value than you. I take it more as just kind of a personal thing, whereas some people take it as a spiritual thing. I think it's more of just like kind of calming yourself down rather than like connecting to something. You know what I mean? I just don't get that's that overlapping aspect of why it has to be spiritual. It's because there's always like this, because as soon as you say spiritual, it just attaches a different connotation to it.
Well, it's just because your predispositions to religion and everything like that, it just underlies, you know.
Well, I'm just saying, if you take everything at face value, like bettering yourself and meditating doesn't have to have this label of spirituality. It can just be what it is. You're just calming down and kind of resetting and kind of reprogramming.
Maybe your definition of spirituality is just
it's
morphed
definitely
by that
tainted.
worldview. Yeah, it's tainted by that other
because
upbringing.
of everything else.
Right. So find your own definition of spirituality.
But that's the thing. Like, you have people, like, words get hijacked and stuff. So
Words get hijacked and people put perceptions to them and don't actually look into the, you know, they don't dive into it enough to understand, you know, we are all connected in some kind of way to this.
Well, I don't know. See, the way a lot of people think is that humans kind of have a hive mentality. And then, well, that's when you get into spirituality, saying like, oh, we're all connected. But it's not a hive. Like, we're not a hive. We're a colony. We're not a hive. Like, we don't have a hive mentality. We're colonizers. So there's people who are kind of like mixing up that definition. See, a hive mentality is where literally you're all connected, like bees.
Mm-hmm.
So if one bee gets killed, all the other bees know where to go and fucking attack, right? That's hive. Whereas humans, we're colonizers. If we see it, we'll go and we'll act.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it affects our inner crowd, then we'll react to it. But we don't feel other people being like we're not connected like that. We don't feel the pain of other people. We don't.
Well,
a lot of people like to think.
If you're not empathetic.
I mean, you do if you're observing it.
Well, a bee doesn't feel when another bee dies. It just smells the hormones.
I know, but that's the same. That's a hive.
We release hormones, and the hormones that me and you are exchanging right now, we have microbiomes that we're exchanging. We have hormones that we're exchanging. We have thoughts that we're exchanging.
Right, but it's not innate. Like, you have to see it. It has to process in your mind. Mm-hmm. Whereas a bee,
like, you have to
it'll smell the pheromone and it'll know exactly what to do, mm-hmm. and exactly what happened, mm-hmm. and it'll know where to go. That's the difference. Mm. And I don't even know if there's any animal that exists that are like connected fully hive.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, but they're not sentient.
Maybe not in the definition that you're thinking of it, but
well, they're not.
You know, anything.
They're not sentient. That's the thing. A mushroom is not sentient. Like, it's.
They're coming out with some really fucking weird shit with mushrooms. And I just listened to this podcast on Joe Rogan with this guy who's like super expert on mushrooms. And he's stuff that he was talking about 20 years ago, they're starting to actually realize about mushrooms. And like, if you're interested, it's 10:35 of the Joe Rogan podcast.
Is that the one where you post that picture in his face?
Like, yeah, he's like that's literally how that. It's fucking crazy. We're literally a fungal mass that has microbiomes and within us, and we just don't even like.
Yes, I know, it's fucking crazy.
And like at the simplest form, like you could.
And like all my fungus and all my bacteria is completely unique to me, right? And it's crazy to think, like, I know I'll go back to, I can't remember what episode it was, but you were saying like what you eat kind of affects what you are.
Yeah.
In the way that what you're eating is what you're feeding certain types of bacteria in your body. So if you're eating shitty foods, you're growing shitty bacteria, and it's going to affect you because that bacteria communicates with you, telling you, hey, you ate that cheeseburger. I fucking love that. Let's go get some more fucking cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Whereas if you eat more vegetables, then the guys who like vegetables will be like, come on, bring on the vegetables.
Like, we introduce things into our bodies, and there's certain things like the bad bacteria.
Because I've noticed that, like, switching over from eating shitty food, I like vegetables more now. Like, I always ate them, but like, I'll go for it like way more now. And I haven't eaten. I ate pizza. That's about the only fast food I've had in a while.
I mean, especially when you're changing your diet and stuff, you have to have that little.
You got to stick with it too, because it takes a while.
You stick with it, but don't be a stickler about it. Like, let yourself have a cheat day. Let yourself.
I know, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you keep doing, like, if you're just relentless on this diet, and then,
well, that's
as soon as you break away from it.
When I went to the States, I was just like, I'm just kind of throwing it out the window, and I'm gonna do whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, allow a little bit of space in between.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? Because you're a lot less likely to jump just full on back in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you allow yourself, it's like, oh, I can do this every once in a while, and that's fine. And then you're like, okay, this is still my routine.
I mean, depending on the person, sometimes some people are have less of a strong will than most. But
yeah, basically all I wanted to say with that blew my mind. That whole interview.
Is it about
it's
psychedelic mushrooms?
Just mushrooms in general.
Just fungi.
It talks about psychedelic mushrooms and the stuff.
Well, obviously you can't bring up mushrooms with fucking Joe Rogan and not talk about
Well, yeah.
drugs.
They're literally considering legalizing psychedelic mushrooms.
Well, have you seen the new NDP leader's some of his addresses?
No.
So what he wants to do is he wants to decriminalize personal possession of all drugs.
Good.
So, because he's like, it's not a criminal justice problem, it's a social justice problem. That guy who only has like a gram of heroin on him, he has that because he has a problem, not because he's a criminal.
Disease. They're not criminals. It's a disease. Addiction to drugs is a disease.
Slapping a felony on that guy ruins his life.
Yeah.
Even if he does someday clean up, he is always gonna have that tainted history. He's always gonna have that scar on him, right?
Well, there's the guy.
It's a good thing.
But you can turn it into such a beautiful thing, too, because there's a guy who I listen to, the One You Feed podcast. He used to be a heroin addict.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of in the self-development world, but he's talking to guests from all these different authors and books, and the conversations that he has are just beautiful. And the stuff that he's discovered through his life, and, like, he's been at rock bottom points, but, like, even just seeing him in his progression of building the show, you like literally see him elevate out of that, and that's a powerful thing. But
it's a good note to end on. We gotta finish this because we still have the 15 minutes of the interview.
Right.
So finally, good to be back.
Is this the intro?
This is the end. We're gonna end it here.
Alrighty, folks. It was good to have you back.
Yep.
With us.
Hopefully you stuck around with
yeah.
past the 2 months of nothingness.
Well, we're definitely planning to be more consistent, releasing an episode a week, if not other bits of content too. If not a full range, we're going to be branching out into other things too, especially since we're both going to be editing. And I plan on making more micro content for the stuff, like I'll take out the juicy bits with interviews where it's just, the good parts where, we touch on something that makes everybody think. So we're going to get a lot more creative. We want other people to join in too. And remember too to hit us up at the Wanderers Podcast at gmail.com if you're interested in any studio time. And
if you ever want,
we're located in Elmira, Ontario, by the way.
If you ever want to send us stuff, we'll just put it on the wall.
Right. Yes. If we have any fans out there that would like to display any of their art on the walls, this is just kind of random.
Minus obscenities.
Yeah, minus obscenities. No big pussies on the wall.
No.
But yeah, anything like comics or video game.
You know what we should do?
Just random.
There's on the Jay and Dan podcast, they have like the Wall of Fame for like Canadians. We should do something like that, but like not Canadians. We should do like metal bands or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
We'll like fucking montage or make a collage.
Yeah.
Of all the metal bands and
then we'll have like a little highlight on them.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I think eventually what we might do is paint this whole wall so that we can green screen behind us. And
that'll be
we're going to be
nice.
doing podcasts in space and on the beach. And
just we'll pretend to be wanderers.
Yeah. We'll just like have videos of people walking through forests.
Yeah.
We're just like sitting.
Yeah. That'll be nice. All right.
Well,
thanks for listening.
Until
Check
next
us out
time.
on Twitter at The Wanderers Pod.
Instagram, thewanderers.podcast.
Something.
It kind of sucks because we can't have like the handle like the same on everything. It's so much handier when you can do that because people just like look you up wherever.
Well, you can just type it in, search The Wanderers Podcast. There's only like 2 of us. There's like another Jim Robbie or whatever.
Well, there's like the World Wanderers Podcast.
You'll find us.
We're there.
We're out there in the world.
Check us out on Stitcher. Every download helps us out a little bit.
Eventually. I don't know when that's going to start, but eventually.
Well, just plug away. All right, till next time.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining. Hank, take it away.
You want to throw down with a hoedown?
I'll get my guitar.
I'll get my washboard.
I'll go get my string bass, which is really a keyboard.
Hey, man, I'm gonna go get my banjo. Maybe I'm gonna go get a little accordion, man. What do you think? No, the banjo, man.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3. Hey, yo, man, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna take a verse right now.
Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna prove untrue. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna left me blue.
Bobby, put that down. That's the jug I keep stuff in. Saw that thing, Connie.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to get into it.
No, it's my fault, Connie. I told you to saw.